Hello and welcome back. It is now Monday, July the 20th. Beautiful morning out here. Forecast for today a little cooler in the 20s, but we're supposed to be getting smoking hot later this week with highs in the mid 30s. So there's going to be lots of stress happening if that happens, and we certainly have no more moisture in sight here in the forecast. So we are going to see things start to go downhill with stress if that occurs, but we'll take that as it comes. Just out here taking a look at a canola field. Let's see what's going on. This canola field, like many, is still in, relatively full bloom, but we are coming pretty much to the end of full bloom for some of these main stems. So a lot of the flowers we're going to see from now on are going to be on those side branches. So we'll still be setting lots of pods and setting yield, but probably in the next week or so, we'll see flowers really noticeably decreasing. And this also brings us to ligus issues, which start to become more of a problem here now that we're into pod development. Ligus are primarily pod feeders. Now this field was sprayed for cabbage seed pod weevil, and you can see there is still some seed pod weevil in there. I'm actually not finding much for ligus in this other than a couple of little juveniles like that little guy that's running right there. Oh, where is he? There he is. So keep an eye out for them, as well as diamondback moths like I talked about last week. This is the time of the year that they can start to become issues, and we'll see what ends up developing over the next week or so here. This is the time we can also see root issues starting to develop in a lot of canola fields, specifically cabbage root maggot. There is usually some issues in this Nobleford area with that. I know they certainly ate all of the cabbages and broccoli in my garden. We're all killed by cabbage root maggots here so far in the last 2 weeks, so they usually can get pretty bad around Nobleford area here. You can see there is some scarring and some feeding on that root right there, so there probably is a little bit here. If you do get it, there's really nothing you can do about it. For the most part, it stresses the plants, but they pull through. Certainly there's nothing you can spray or do for them since they're underground at this point. In the last couple days, the appearance of barley fields has quite erratically changed. You can see we've got more of a mature look to this field. However, this barley is still really quite immature. It's still, well into milk stage here, but we are getting closer to dough. But basically what you're seeing is just sunburn on those awns. The tips of those awns are drying off, turning brown, and that's why we're seeing that more mature look to the field, just from the high temperatures we've had. Well, a quick update on that hailed out canola field. You can see it is looking much better this week. There's been lots of growth, lots of new flowers going on in here, but it is still, relatively thin when you're looking down in it. So yield will have been severely impacted, but we'll see what happens over the next couple weeks as this one develops. So right now, there's still some possibility in there. She is flowering, starting to set a few pods, but there is a lot of aborted flowers in here as well. So definitely still under stress. Well, that hailed out wheat field is looking pretty good this week. Lots of regrowth now. You can just really see it regrowing from the crown there. Some of it is rushing into making heads at about ankle height. So we'll see what ends up happening in here, but there will at least be something in here probably. Here on this Dryland barley that got hailed out a couple weeks ago, you can see it's not recovering so good. This is really dry, sandy ground here, and you can see it just wasn't able to hold on to enough moisture to actually regrow and thrive. It's just not doing well at all, and they never seem to show up properly on camera, but there is grasshoppers here. And probably we're getting close to threshold levels. We're at about 1 to 2 per square meter when I walk through here. So definitely some in here, but I don't think it's really worth spraying this headland. Dryland yellow peas are looking a little hit or miss this week. Right now I'm in a pretty nice patch here. You can see this is all looking pretty good. It has dropped out of flower, so hopefully these last few flowers will set some pods, but overall pod production is looking pretty good. We got really good potential in here compared to the last few years in this Dryland. Now last week I was a little more concerned about some of the disease I'm seeing down in the canopy here, some of this mycosporellia and stuff. But right now, the way these fields are looking, lots of them are drying out really rapidly from the heat and the lack of moisture. So I'm way more concerned about, the drought stress at the moment than I am about the disease moving through that lower canopy. So right now it's we'll just let it develop and see what happens. Well, my corn is certainly looking really good this week. It has effectively doubled in height. Last week this was just barely over my knee. Now it's about half my height, so half a lisle tall. It's basically doubled. Looking really good. You can still see, some of the leftovers of that hail damage on some of those older leaves, but those are rapidly being replaced with these nice healthy new leaves. So things looking pretty good in here. A little bit of yellow top here and there, which is not uncommon for these rapid growth conditions. but overall looking really good. Still a ways to go before we're tasseling. We'll do some tissue testing before then, see if we need any more nitrogen. I'm out here at my small plots, and my CredoSense weather station is still standing remarkably. There was a few little gusts of wind there yesterday. It has very, very lightly built anchor wires here, which are holding it together and keeping it from blowing over. One of them has already broken down there, and I've just got it tied in a knot for now. Yeah, gonna fire up this CredoSense sensor here and do a third attempt at getting this thing to work. So let's see how that goes. Checking out my small wheat plots. They are doing well for the most part. We finished flowering. We're starting to fill, but very early milk stage. There's a few aphids in here and there, but you can really see that drought stress and the heat is really getting to the bottom leaves. Starting to see some of those bottom leaves senesce off, and I'm not seeing much of a difference between plots, between different products. They're all looking relatively the same. So no huge differences here as far as stress or management of stress goes between the products. They're all pretty much showing drought stress exactly the same. No big surprise there. There's only so much water to go around. Doesn't matter how much nutrition you have down if you don't have the moisture to do anything with it. And this is what makes it a gamble, putting biostimulants on dry land. If we had adequate water here, we might be seeing differences between some of these crops. We might be seeing a boost in the yield, whatever. But as it is, they've all pretty much run out of water equally, and they're all showing stress equally. On irrigation, maybe I'd see a little bit of a different response, but these products, a lot of them, they make their sales by promising the reduction of stress and improving of yield, and that's what I'm out here to test, and that's why these are on dry land. Well, there we go. It took me about an hour, but I got all my tissue samples done from my plots. So I got 80 flag leaves per bag, 20 per plot. So should see some interesting results. I couldn't really wait any longer for this with the hot to dry conditions we're having. The field is drying up pretty quick. You can actually see right here, there's a little bit of just a tiny bit of a high spot, probably a sandy ridge that runs right through my plots here, kind of through replications 2 and 3. And it does actually look quite a bit poorer there. But even outside of that area, you can see these are just burning up. We're rapidly dropping and senescing leaves, and this wheat has only just barely finished flowering. So yeah, who knows how things are going to look in the end. We'll definitely be able to tell which biostimulant helps in a stressful situation. Well, so far this week, my insect numbers have been quite a bit down. There is the odd little Lygus nymph here and there. You can see in here we do have some flea beetles. Couple flea beetles in here anyways. They're not too much of a concern at this time. Cabbage seed pod weevils, there's a couple. Little diamondback moth larvae right there. There's a few Lygus nymphs here and there, but overall numbers are quite low right now, so I'm not too worried about anything. But I think in the next couple weeks here, we're going to have to really watch these diamondbacks as well as those Lygus nymphs. With these hot temperatures, they can get out of control pretty quickly. Well, there we go. CredoSense stuff is all packed up, ready to go back. So definitely a lot of the footage I shot about this in the last week you'll probably never see because the language that I used in it is too strong even for YouTube, but it has been no end of frustration. So this is going to be going back. This was a paid trial, by the way. We were paying to use this sensor. I have spent hours out in the field and talking with technical support and have not been able to get a successful sample, not even one, with it. So it is going back, and this company needs to do a little bit more research and development, and yeah, definitely maybe next year it'll be improved enough to the point where it'll actually work out in the field, but we will see. A lot of the Dryland canola is starting to look very stressed in the heat this week. Right now, we're still warming up today. It's only 26 degrees, but you can already see this Dryland canola showing quite a bit of stress. We got lots of leaves rolling and folding, so not a good sign. So far, we've got some pretty nice long pods, but you can see by that appearance where the pod is almost shrunken around the seed that it is starting to affect how well these pods are going to fill out. So hopefully we will, catch some showers without hail and can help fill some of these fields out. But I think if that doesn't happen, some of these dryland acres, we're going to start to see a yield reduction. All right, here's another canola root I pulled up, different field, but similar area. You can see we got some maggots in there. There was a pupa on there too, but it's already dropped off. But where this one maggot was feeding here, I just cut the stem, sliced it open, and you can see how that disease, oh, I lost focus. Hey, where are you? Well, there we go. You can really see where that disease is moving through that site of feeding there. So you can see how that feeding can expose the interior of that root to infection by pathogens like blackleg. Over here by Fort McLeod, taking a look at my mustard field, and it is still in full bloom and doing very good. Smells wonderful in here. If you've never been in a flowering mustard field, it is quite different from canola. But yeah, starting to set lots of pods, looking good. When I did 10 sweeps in here, I have quite a few lygus. Now my adult lygus are under threshold, but let's see if I can pull these stems out of there quick. If you look in here, you'll see we have an absolute pile of small nymph lygus. So these guys are still small enough. They do not count towards threshold at this point. If they did, we would be well over threshold. Threshold for lygus, similar to canola at this stage, in that 20-ish range in pod development, 20 adult lygus. However, these nymphs are so small, they just don't count towards that threshold yet. So I would suspect in the next, week or two, canola fields are going to start to look this way as well, with a lot more nymph lygus showing up. Well, it's that time of the year we need to be sweeping the lentils and checking for aphids, and there is certainly an absolute pile in here. So did 10 sweeps in here. My net is pretty much coated. Threshold is going to be 30 to 40 per sweep, so 300 to 400 per 10 sweeps. We're probably sitting about there. The inside of this net was absolutely coated before I kind of shook them down into the bottom. But you can see we got lots of ladybugs and stuff in there too. Now this particular field, we are fighting with a Phanomyces. There's some really huge patches. Only about a quarter of the field is looking this good. So that's probably the only area that we're going to bother to spray for these aphids. The rest of the field, I think, will just be left to see what happens. Well, I guess that'll be it for now. It's going to be some nice hot weather over the weekend, so we'll see what next week brings us. We're going to need some rain here pretty soon, or we're going to rapidly come to a close of the season here for a lot of pulses and other crops that are really rapidly starting to dry down. But we will see how that pans out next week.